Your mouth is not just a physical part of your body used for communication. It is a powerful instrument that shapes the direction of your life. Every word you speak carries weight, whether you realize it or not. Many people underestimate this, thinking their words are harmless or insignificant. But in reality, their daily confessions are setting the course for their future. What you repeatedly say begins to settle into your heart, and what settles into your heart eventually manifests in your life. This is why careless speech can quietly build walls of limitation, while intentional speech can open doors to increase. You may look at your current situation and feel tempted to describe it exactly as it appears. If there is lack, you talk about lack. If there is pressure, you talk about pressure. But by doing this, you are not just describing your reality, you are reinforcing it. Words are like seeds. Once they are planted, they begin to grow, whether they are positive or negative. If you constantly plant seeds of doubt, fear, and shortage, you will eventually harvest the same. But if you plant seeds of faith, abundance, and expectation, your life will begin to reflect those words. There is a spiritual principle at work that goes beyond natural understanding. Your voice releases authority. It sends out a signal that aligns your life with what you are declaring. When you speak negatively, you are giving permission for limitation to remain. When you speak positively with belief, you are activating a higher level of operation that begins to shift things in your favor. This is why silence or passive thinking is not enough. There must be spoken words that carry conviction and consistency. Too many people speak according to how they feel in the moment. When things are going well, they speak positively. When challenges arise, their words quickly turn negative. This inconsistency weakens the power of their confession. For your mouth to become a magnet for increase, your words must remain steady regardless of circumstances. Even when nothing seems to be changing, your confession must stay aligned with where you are going, not where you currently are. You cannot allow your environment, your past experiences, or other people's opinions to dictate what comes out of your mouth. If you do, you will always be reacting instead of creating. Instead, you must take control of your words with intention. Speak what you desire to see, not what you are trying to escape. Speak with confidence, even when there is no visible evidence. Your words are going ahead of you, preparing opportunities, influencing outcomes, and shaping your reality in ways you may not immediately see. Words are not empty sounds that disappear into the air. They are containers filled with power, carrying either faith or fear, abundance or lack, victory or defeat. Every time you speak, you are releasing something that will eventually produce a result. Many people speak without awareness, allowing negative phrases, complaints, and limiting beliefs to flow freely, not realizing that these very words are shaping the conditions of their lives. What you consistently say becomes the atmosphere you live in, and that atmosphere will either strengthen your faith or suffocate it. When your words are filled with doubt, you give energy to limitation. Doubt weakens expectation and closes the door to possibilities that could have been. Fear-filled speech magnifies problems, making them appear larger and more powerful than they truly are. The more you talk about what is going wrong, the more your focus is drawn to it, and the more control it begins to have over your thinking. Your words begin to agree with the problem instead of overcoming it, and that agreement allows the situation to remain unchanged. On the other hand, when your words are filled with faith, something different begins to happen. Faith is not just a feeling, it is a force that is released through your voice. When you declare abundance, provision, and increase, you are sending out a different signal, one that aligns with growth and opportunity. These words may seem simple, but they carry the ability to shift your mindset, influence your decisions, and attract new possibilities into your life. Faith-filled words create an environment where solutions can grow and where progress becomes possible. It is important to understand that your words do not operate in isolation. They work together with what you believe in your heart. If your heart is filled with doubt, but your mouth tries to speak positively without conviction, the results will be inconsistent. But when belief and speech come into agreement, there is a powerful alignment that begins to produce change. This is why you must train yourself not only to speak differently, but also to think differently, allowing your inner belief to support your outward confession. Many people unknowingly sabotage their progress by mixing faith with negativity. They may speak words of increase one moment and then quickly cancel them out with statements of fear or frustration. This double-minded approach weakens the impact of their words and slows down the results they desire. Consistency is essential. Your words must remain aligned with your goal, even when circumstances try to push you in the opposite direction. You have the ability to choose what fills your words. You can choose to speak life instead of limitation, to declare provision instead of lack, to focus on possibilities instead of problems. Each word you release is setting something in motion, whether seen or unseen. By becoming aware of this and intentionally filling your speech with faith, you begin to shift the direction of your life, creating a flow that supports growth, increase, and new opportunities without needing visible proof at the moment. The unseen realm responds to your voice in a way that goes far beyond natural understanding. Many people live as though only what they can see and touch is real, but there are forces at work that are influenced by what you consistently declare. Your words are not limited to the physical, they move into the unseen, setting things in motion, arranging circumstances, and influencing outcomes long before anything becomes visible. This is why what you say carries such significance. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, silence does not activate change, and wishful thinking alone does not produce results. You may hope for better days, you may desire increase, but until those desires are expressed through your words with belief and authority, they remain inactive. The unseen realm does not respond to passive thoughts, it responds to spoken words filled with conviction. When you begin to speak boldly and consistently, you are releasing a force that goes ahead of you, preparing the way for what you have declared. Every time you speak, you are either reinforcing what already exists or creating something new. If your words are aligned with your current problems, you are strengthening them. You are giving them permission to stay and continue influencing your life. But when your words rise above your circumstances and declare something greater, you begin to interrupt that cycle. You introduce a new direction, one that is not controlled by what is currently visible, but by what you choose to believe and declare. It may feel uncomfortable at first to speak things that you cannot yet see. Your senses may resist it, your mind may question it, and your environment may contradict it. But this is where discipline becomes essential. You are not speaking based on evidence. You are speaking to create evidence. Your words are shaping the unseen first, and what is formed in the unseen will eventually take form in the visible. There is authority in your voice that many people never fully use. They speak casually without intention, allowing their words to be driven by emotion or habit. But when you begin to speak with purpose, understanding that your words are setting things in motion, your entire approach changes. You become more deliberate, more focused, and more consistent in what you say. You are no longer reacting to life, you are directing it. Your words become a tool that moves things into alignment with your purpose. You begin to call in opportunities, to declare favor, to speak increase, even when there is no immediate sign of it. And as you continue, something begins to shift beneath the surface. What once seemed delayed starts to move. What once felt blocked begins to open, all because your voice is no longer silent, and it is no longer speaking in agreement with limitation, but with a higher reality that is being established through every word you release. If you keep saying, "I never have enough," you are not just expressing frustration, you are establishing a pattern that your life begins to follow. Words that are repeated consistently gain strength, and over time they shape your expectations, your decisions, and even your results. Many people don't realize that their daily language is quietly programming their future. What starts as a simple statement becomes a belief, and that belief begins to influence how they see opportunities, how they respond to challenges, and how they manage what comes into their hands. When you say, "Money slips through my hands," you begin to act in ways that support that belief. You may become careless, discouraged, or even fearful about handling finances, and those attitudes lead to actions that reinforce the very outcome you spoke. In this way, your words and your behavior come into agreement, creating a cycle that becomes difficult to break. It is not that increase is unavailable. It is that your confession is not aligned with it. But the moment you begin to change your words, you begin to interrupt that cycle. When you rise up and declare, "I am blessed, I have more than enough. Resources are coming to me now," you are introducing a new pattern into your life. At first, it may feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable, because it does not match your current situation. But these words are not meant to describe what is. They are meant to create what can be. As you continue to speak them, they begin to reshape your thinking, lifting your expectation and opening your awareness to possibilities you may have overlooked before. This is how you align yourself with a higher law, one that is not limited by current conditions. Natural circumstances may say one thing, but your words have the ability to rise above them. When you consistently declare abundance, your mindset begins to shift from scarcity to expectation. You start to notice opportunities where you once saw obstacles. You begin to make decisions with confidence instead of fear. Your actions start to reflect the belief that increase is not only possible, but already on its way. Consistency is what gives your words power. Saying something once or twice will not create lasting change, but repeating it daily with belief begins to establish it within you. Your words move from being simple statements to becoming a strong inner conviction. And once that conviction is established, it influences everything: your attitude, your focus, and your response to every situation you face. You are no longer speaking based on past experiences or current limitations. You are speaking based on where you are going. Each declaration becomes a step toward that direction, reinforcing the belief that your life is not defined by lack, but by provision, not by limitation, but by increase and not by uncertainty, but by a growing confidence that what you are speaking is already beginning to take shape in ways that are not yet visible, but are steadily moving toward manifestation.